Welcome to a 3v3 on City 17. This game is going to be Bdexmpl, Digression, and my login occupied. Apparently the three players with oddly difficult names to pronounce. Against 40 Cake, Angel of Death TV, and Kratz. Going to see. Man, I've been casting a lot of 40 Cake and Kratz recently, apparently. Going to see Combat Engineers and Maxim making their way towards the right. Vet Rifleman also. So Rifle Company has been chosen. Loading a little bit here initially, I guess, while he gets those on the field. And a squad of Riflemen heading left. And he's, wow, that's very early grenade research, by the way. That's his third purchase. Rifleman, Vet Rifleman, frag grenades. Interesting. First engagement for the left side strategic point right here, or right side, I guess. Between Pios and Ostrupin. Ostrupin doing what they can from behind green cover to try and slow down that advance. Over here on the right side, the Axis will get control of the fuel point initially. A Maxim deployed into this building, I think, right? Yeah. Leaves the building and is dying. So, not off to a great start right there. Gets wiped. Axis not only take control of this territory, but also wipe a squad and get control of the area. Thank you for your $5 donation, Bluey. And yes, I am aware that hosting competitive events is an excellent way to bring in followers, viewers, and subs, and all of those nice things. But I definitely have no intention of hosting a mirror match tournament. I think that would be totally stupid. But that's just me, you know, whatever. I am always open to hearing ideas, though, for things that can generate interesting play. Huge shout out again, by the way, to Gaddafi, Daddy G, for his idea with the Coco Jambo Award. I think that award was single-handedly responsible for a huge amount of non-meta games getting played during Star-Crossed Kings, as people sort of vied for that award. So I think that was an excellent idea to generate interesting play. And next time I host Star-Crossed Kings, I think I'm going to do another Coco Jambo prize. If he doesn't sponsor it, I'll probably just sponsor that myself, because I think that's a really good idea. Definitely want to keep that going. You know, Bluey's not stupid. Thank you, Bluey, very much for your $5 donation. It is much appreciated. I'm not going to host a mirror match tournament, that's all. Squad eats a frag grenade right there. These two squads are going to be forced to retreat. Allies are going to make another bit of an attempt for the right side, but there's a stolen, or no, that's the, is that stolen? No, MG42 in the building. Engaging against a Maxim at long range. Engagement's just going to take forever and doesn't look like territory's going to change hands. Apparently barbed wire is being thrown down over here on the right side. Meanwhile, left, I think the Allies have completely not even tried. Apparently the Axis have all of this territory unopposed, while all Allied forces are being dedicated to this one strategic point. And they will succeed in killing a Kuba wagon, I guess, but they certainly don't have very much territory under their control right now. That squad of Ostrupin will be forced to retreat right there, and these three squads trying to push away that Combat Engineer squad will do so easily. Grenadiers moving up on the flank of that guy. Rifle grenade brings him very low, and the Maxim in this building also extremely low. It looks like both of these weapons are going to get wiped again. Digression is just spamming team weapons. 3 Maxims, which tend to apparently just get wiped and accomplish nothing over here. Clearly this hard tier 2 build is not working in the slightest. That Maxim will also be forced to retreat right there, and the Axis have control of the entire map at all points. The Allies have dedicated all forces to one tiny area of the map, and even then they are failing to take territory anywhere. This keeps just going all wrong. Giant super blob over here on the right side. Sturmoffizier supporting Grenadiers and Ostrupen, right? I think. No, it's an artillery field officer. Confused. Concentrated fire. Concentrated fire. Okay. Not a Sturmoffizier. How much is that? 25 munitions, apparently. So, utilizing that super duper blobbing ability, everything will be forced to retreat right there, and the Axis get back control of the right side fuel point. There's probably going to be a unstoppable tide of Axis vehicles hitting the field very soon. They hold almost all strategic points, both fuel points, huge portions of the map here. We are already going to see tier 3 going up for 40 cake. Angel of Death has gone tier 2. No third tier up yet. With 115 fuel banked already, probably going to transition to tier 4. That's what it looks like. Trucks driving up to the front lines. And Kratz, with 135 fuel in the bank, has not teched at all beyond Battle Phase 1. So, only 40 cake will be going to tier 3 thus far, but it's only 7 minutes in, and we're looking at probably an Ostwind in the next minute and a half. So, the Allies don't turn the map control situation around soon. There's going to be Axis tanks on the field before the 10-minute mark, which is a pretty bad sign. Meanwhile, for their own tech, I see Soviet tier 2, nothing beyond that. No officer unlocked at all. Captain only just now being fielded. I think an Oster tier 3 is going to be complete before a captain, which is not a good sign. And over here on the left side, I don't see any officers at all. No lieutenant, no captain, nothing. In fact, his entire army is just 4 squads of riflemen 8 minutes into the game. And he's floating 900 manpower, which when already behind is terrible. Bdex is also floating 600, and Degrishin is not floating that much, but most of the units he's fielded have been handed over to the enemy, so that's not a whole lot better. And Dushkas don't stand much of a chance of turning things around. Every unit he puts in this building just dies to massed units from all directions, just brute forcing it from the structure. Flamethrower walks into an S minefield and explodes. Oh my god, the carnage. These 3 Folks Grenadiers move to take control of this point and force a retreat from that squad of riflemen. And over here on the center VP, riflemen are desperately trying to cling to victory points with a smoke grenade in fighting position. But the Allies don't look like they're going to have any chance of winning this game, since they are failing on every front to take even small amounts of territory. They have neither fuel point, 1 victory point, a few strategic points, and 1 munitions point, while the Axis hold all other points of the map. Massive grenade spam here in the middle forces some retreats from Folks Grenadiers. They'll move to take back control of this point, but again they are committing huge forces to this point that doesn't even matter that much and failing everywhere else. 9.5 minutes in, 40 cake has the resources for any tier 3 unit she desires. We're also going to see Battle Phase 2 going up for Kratz, and Angel of Death has got tier 4 complete and will probably be throwing out a whatever. I would suggest Panzer II went ahead by this much, but if he wants to go straight for Panther or Sturm Tiger, that would certainly not be incorrect to do either. Soviet player here is going to throw up a tier 4, which will exhaust all of his resource reserves just to build this. Won't be able to make any actual units out of it anytime soon. And this attempt to take control of the right side fuel point probably isn't going to succeed. MG 34 over here on the right side, suppressing some riflemen as they try to advance down this road. Are not experiencing much success. Infantry support gun is available over here to maybe start bombarding some various locations. MG 34 inside this building, also pinning down a squad of riflemen, but it's falling low, may need to retreat soon. And an engagement over here for the right side fuel continues to go in the Axis favor. No sign of the Allies getting control of this sector yet. LMG Grenadier Blob is getting overwhelmed by massive amounts of riflemen, unfortunately. That's going to be forced to retreat off the battlefield, but here comes the Panzer IV. Bursting through the wall to try and push away this Allied push. Maxim will probably not last that long inside of this structure, being forced out by a bunch of Ostrupen and Artillery Field Officer and Mortar Fire and Panzer IV Fire. Artillery Field Officer activates Concentrated Fire and then immediately dies. The officer model dies, so the buff is no longer in effect and he no longer has access to any of his abilities. It's just kind of a Grenadier squad now. Grenade toss on the blob of Ostrupen and armor-piercing rounds on the Panzer IV from this AT gun will force 40k back in this engagement, and the Allies are actually experiencing a minor amount of success in this engagement, but they still don't have the fuel point captured, and they still don't show any signs of being able to get it captured with this machine gun in the building. Smoke being deployed by these riflemen, and it looks like they're going to slowly start capturing this sector. They may very briefly get some fuel coming in. Fallschirmjäger deployed from this building over here are going to start looking for opportunities behind enemy lines. Central victory point is still in Allied control as Angel of Death mobilizes his various team weapons and Volksgrenadiers towards this engagement. Sturm Pioneers working on another fighting position right there, and the machine gun inside of this structure is falling low and will get wiped. Allies are actually experiencing even more success over here on the right side. If they can move up and get the victory and fuel points captured, maybe they can slow down the Axis tank production, get out some armor of their own. There's tier 3 from Kratz as well. He hasn't fielded a unit out of it yet, with 212 fuel in the bank. Not sure if maybe he just wants to save for Puma spam or what. And Angel of Death is making his way up to 160 fuel. Still no tier 4 unit from him. He's definitely not intending to go Panzer II, so I guess he's waiting for Panther. Flamethrowers are moving up to try and force these Volksgrenadiers to retreat. Although one squad gets focused down and killed. Apparently a grenade tossed into the fighting position. I don't know what that was supposed to do. It's going to be done upgrading to a 50 cal soon. Once it does, shouldn't have any problem forcing away the remnants of this force. Over here on the right side, an LMG Grenadier blob is slowly getting pushed back by AT gun and mortar fire. And the Ostrupen blob is making its way back towards the right side as well. Fallschirmjäger engaging against riflemen in the middle, which are just suicidally... I don't even know what they're doing, but they're dead. Fallschirmjäger gunned them down easily and are going to start getting control of the center victory point. Axis have a 250 victory point lead, and it's going to get even worse as they set up a triple cap here at 13 minutes. The situation for the Allies looks like it's only getting... What is that half-track doing? Apparently, a half-track deployed with guards from Lend-Lease dives the Axis base. It doesn't work, and the guards inside are getting crushed by a Panzer IV, I guess. Alright, so much for that. 540 manpower and 30 fuel. Over here on the right side, almost the entire Allied army is in this area. Also, it doesn't matter how many vote skips you do, this game's not getting skipped because it got fast lane, so you're all just gonna have to enjoy it. I don't skip fast lane games. Don't worry, it's almost over. Allies are triple capped. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Either an amazing comeback or the points will run out and that'll be it. Another rifle squad got wiped by these Fallschirmjäger over here, and a captain is working on this point. Allies have the right side fuel, but not the right side victory point. They don't seem to be making much progress in any way, shape, or form. Panzer IV supporting these Ostrupen, slowing the advance of these riflemen. They are forced to retreat, but inflicting their fair share of bleed on these riflemen as they try to advance under mortar fire. There's an AT gun set up right here to prevent that Panzer IV from showing itself for at least a little longer. And this behavior is going pretty much unpunished thus far, but once the Ostrupen players have access to railway artillery, well, 40k has access to railway artillery. Kratz is mobile defense, so he has a slightly different form of Ostrupen on the field. He'll never have railway artillery. Might maybe make a command tank though. There it is. Command tank moving to support with its aura defensive bonuses. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised not to see a tier 4 unit from Angel of Death, who I guess is actually going to go straight for King Tiger. There's tier 3 in his base. If he throws on fuel transfer, he'll be up to what he needs for King Tiger pretty soon. And an Su-76 is on the field for the Soviet player. Pretty edgy tier 4 purchase considering he has nothing but mortars. This one, however, has 25 kills. His mortars are performing pretty well. His Maxim and Dushka spam, however, has gone horribly wrong, considering not a single one is still alive. And his expenditure of massive amounts of manpower on these half-tracks isn't going very well either. Hopefully this one doesn't just dive the base and immediately die after accomplishing nothing. Command tank moves to engage over here on the right side with support from Ostrupin and other stuff. And yes, Tightrope, I will start that countdown clock right after this game. I will do that. Panzer IV is moving up with command tank support. Try and push everything away. Rear echelon troops and so on inside of this fighting position are not going to last long. The massive Axis armor swarm is rapidly becoming too much for the Allies to handle. There goes an ambulance. Lots of high priority targets being picked up left and right. The Allies have only 100 VPs remaining and have no chance of surviving the remainder of this game. So there you have it. The Allies will surrender, not because of intelligent build decisions by the Axis, not because of good micro and tactics, but mostly because the Allies were just extremely bad and didn't expend any of their resources. And what few units they did make, they funneled into a meat grinder for the right side, so GG, I guess. The Axis will completely annihilate the Allies. Axis win.